Mr. President, Excellencies and colleagues, please allow me to convey the government and the people of Tuvalu's most heartfelt and deepest sympathies to our UN family, especially to those countries and families who have lost their loved one in the recent tragedy. Mr. President, Tuvalu expresses appreciation for the invitation to engage in meaningful dialogue for the sustainable management of our environment and natural resources with a very challenging theme. Like many of us from the Pacific Ocean coastal state, the sea is the basis of our livelihood. Our economic development, culture, traditions, and spiritual values are intrinsically attached to the ocean and the effective management of our marine resources. Marine debris, especially plastics and many others, are decimating reefs and marine life. These environmental hazards are increasing the vulnerability of coastal and small island developing states. Mr. President, we gather here to call for the prevention and reduction of human-induced marine pollution and the establishment of a coordinated global governance mechanism to address the negative impacts of marine litter, including plastic litter and microplastic. We call for ongoing commitments under UNCLOS and SDG 14 and agency in actions to address this issue with a concrete solution. The threat from climate change is real. Addressing the impacts of climate change is a top priority for Tuvalu's National Strategy for Sustainable Development. We are committed to achieving 100% renewable energy of power generation by 2025, and we have achieved 35% reduction through solar energy. This is our NDC under the Paris Agreement. We have ratified the Kigali Amendment to the Montreal Protocol to phase down the use of HFCs to keep average global temperature well below the 1.5 degrees Celsius. We are committed to establishing 10% of our EEZ as marine protected areas. We are currently conserving 18% of our terrestrial area, which passes the IT biodiversity target. We are committed to the protection of biodiversity and traditional knowledge. This was strengthened through our accession to the Nagoya Protocol in 2018. We have established our integrated waste policy and action plan, which supports the objectives of the AGCs and Cleaner Pacific 2025, a regional strategy to address the management of waste pollution. The government is developing new legislation to ban plastics in Tuvalu, starting by hosting a plastic-free 2019 Pacific Island Leaders Forum. Tuvalu is establishing a Pacific Islands Climate Change Insurance Facility with technical support from the UN nation. This initiative is to help Pacific Island countries rebuild during and after the impact of climate change-induced disaster. Tuvalu is also sponsoring a draft UNGA resolution in the upcoming meeting in September. We aim to protect the rights of people displaced by climate change. I seek the support of the UN Environment and members of these two initiatives. Last but not the least, I wish to convey our sincere gratitude to the government and people of Kenya for the hospitality and for hosting such an important conference. I also wish to recognize UNEA for its expertise and efficient arrangements for the Assembly. I thank you, Mr. President.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre, pour votre déclaration.